England be smiling at the end of this over. They need 13 runs to win this match. Heath Streak will be the bowler. Zimbabwe in no hurry. Campbell's going to make sure that every corner of this boundary is patrolled.
One boundary, anything could happen.
Streak tonight, down the leg side, perfectly legitimate today. One ball gone with no runs scored.
That's the line. One-day cricket, it would be illegal. In Test cricket, it's quite legitimate. And they bowled very well, Heath Streak. And particularly Guy Whittle, I think, who came on. And the game was probably still in England's favour, but these two have dragged it back and bowled very well.
Knight's got it out to long off. Darren Gough prepared to sacrifice his wicket, but he's got back for two. Flower, the fielder, making sure there'd be no overthrow, allowed England back for two. I think Zimbabwe will settle for that.
I'm surprised that Grant Flower didn't skid this into Heath Streak. He's behind the stumps. He's in perfect position. If he runs with it and then just lobs it, and it wasn't very accurate either, and if he'd have skidded it in, Darren Gough, I think, would have struggled.
That's what Knight's looking for. He's chipped it over his head for six. Unbelievable. Nick Knight's got Heath Streak away over mid-wicket for 6 runs. Now England are back in it. England now need 5 runs to win off 3 balls. The England supporters are going crazy.
Now that gives the Zimbabwean captain, Alistair Campbell, something to think about. 5 or 3 balls. Does he leave everyone on the boundary, or does he bring someone in?
Nick Knight, the hero of the hour now. That 6 runs has made all the difference. Have a look at this.
If you keep firing it in the same area, the batsman will eventually be able to adjust, and that's what's happened here. And Nick Knight, 92 not out now. 1 6 5 4s, and that has changed everything. 5 runs now needed from 3 balls. The only one thing that is for sure, England can't lose. And Zimbabwe have got to do everything they can now to stop it, the victory. But that is a magnificent hit.
Nick Knight couldn't be under greater pressure, and he pulls that shot out of the bag. A lot of critics of one-day cricket, but that shot would never have been played in a Test match 15 years ago. Here's Streak tonight. England require 5. It's wide outside the off stump. No signal from umpire Ian Robinson. England now requiring 5 off 2. How does Heath Streak feel? He's got it right that time.
Well,
Knight looking for another hit on the leg side. He's bowled it well wide of off stump.
that isn't wide. I'm sorry, that isn't wide. Well, the England bowlers won't be too happy with this, because Alan Mullally and Darren Gough got wided for balls not as wide as that in this Test match.
Full toss. Knight can only get it away for 1. Gough will definitely come back for the 2nd run. He's made it with a dive. Streak can't take the ball cleanly. England scramble 2, but they 3 to win off the last ball. We've seen one-day finishes all over the world. We've never seen a Test match finish like this. Now, the batsmen are in conference. the big three for Zimbabwe in conference. Campbell has told the bowler what to do. He goes out onto the boundary edge. Andy Flower wishes Heath Streak good luck. Nick Knight takes a few deep breaths. It's all on the Warwickshiremen's shoulders here. England need 3 runs to win off the very last ball to win this test match. Can Nick Knight conjure up another boundary? One feel it has to be a boundary now for England to win this match. Here comes Streak. Knight's down the track, he's got it out to deep cover, there's a man there. This too will bring the scores level. Andy Flower's got it, Darren Gough vainly goes for the 3rd runs. The scores are level, but the match is drawn. England finished tantalisingly 1 run short. They've levelled the scores with Zimbabwe. They couldn't get the final run. Nick Knight just getting 2 off the last ball and finishes on 96 not out. What a test match day we've seen here in Bulawayo. Nick Knight can't believe it, he's done all that hard work. England finish just 1 run short. Great work by Nick Knight and the rest of the England team. Controversial tactics from Zimbabwe as they fire the ball wide either side of the wickets. But I'm sure England would have done the same thing in their situation. This is test match cricket, remember. Zimbabwe have fought all the way and out of the fire have salvaged a draw. The crowd stand for Nick Knight and the England team. Alex Stewart, another hero of the hour. England just failed to make it. The scores are level here in Bulawayo.
That was an absolutely amazing game of cricket. One of the most exciting you could ever wish to see, and one of the most historical, because for the first time in the history of Test match cricket, a match has been drawn with the scores level. It is absolutely not a tie. The side that bats last has to be bowled out for it to be a tie. It is a draw, and it is also, of course, a draw on the occasion when Zimbabwe and England met in Bulawayo for the first time ever in a Test match. A cracking occasion, 204 for 6 England. Brilliant performance from Nick Knight and also from Alex Stewart, and just 1 run short of what would have been a famous victory. And after play, Charles Colville spoke to the 2 captains and the man of the match, Nick Knight.
Alistair, what a terrific game of cricket.
Yes, it was indeed. You know, a bit nerve-wracking towards the end, so we are glad to get a draw out of it in the end.
You look quite drained, actually.
Yeah, it was all to and fro out there, you know, where to bowl it, what fields to set. So, like I said, glad to get a draw in the end.
There's also going to be a certain amount of controversy about the tactics Zimbabwe employed.
Well, I think there was only one way to bowl out there. I think a lot of sides have used that. And when you know, behind the black ball in Test cricket, I think you've got to use those tactics. So I'm going to defend that to the hilt.
We tried exceptionally hard. We really worked hard to bowl them out this morning. Nick Knight and Alex Stewart played fantastically well to get us so close. We just failed, but I was very proud of the way we played.
What did you feel about the Zimbabwean tactics in the second half of the day when they were obviously bowling quite wide of the stumps and also had the field so deeply set?
Well, I don't blame them for that. I think a lot of sides would have done the same. I was disappointed 1 or 2 deliveries weren't given as wide towards the end when they're exceptionally wide. But generally, I have no complaints.
And this must give you a lot of satisfaction to have turned in such a good performance after all the flack you got earlier on in the tour about the way it had gone early on.
Well, I think I told everybody after the first week that not to judge us on those performances. I think showed that we played in a positive manner here. Everybody's played exceptionally well, and people can be proud of the way we played.
The 6 in the last over, that really did set things up.
Yeah, I was struggling to get the ball off the square for a while, but finally got the ball for 6 and got it down to 5 off 3 and felt really I was in with a good shout winning, and disappointed not to have made it, but as I say, a great game.
So what about the next Test match in Harare on Boxing Day?
Well, we'll be playing in the same manner, same positive vein, and hoping to win the match in the series.
At least the Barmy Army are in good voice.
Yeah, they've seen a good game today. It was a great finish to what looked like possibly was going to be a dull Test match for 4 days, but we worked hard and made it into a great game for the fans.